Hey again, folks. So part two, the focus of part two is going to be our left-hand panel here and getting your feedback and thoughts on the changes that I've made today. So first and foremost, I want to bring your attention to the fact that I've removed our context menu. It was historically 3 dots with multiple actions. It's now a single action CTA. So I can go in and click this and it will bring up our new collection modal. So one of the things that I'm trying to do is always maintain context as to where an action is taking place. So the label here indicates that I'm creating a new collection within the personal collection, and I'm just going to call it test. And we can see that it's appeared on the left-hand side. So one of the changes I'd like to be making over the course of this week as well is to indicate that this is a private collection by adding the padlock. So this symbol here that we have with the silhouette and the padlock, that's very distinct for this root private collection node. And then any other private collections will be indicated with the padlock that you would have seen this week. So yep, that's the first change. I'm just going to refresh here. And again, this is very much a development build. I've been making a lot of changes today. So this will get us into the personal collection space. Again, on the left-hand side, as well as making changes to these elements here, the most drastic or most significant change I would say is that I've removed the tabs from this space as well. So historically, you would have seen a start a new smart chat CTA. That's been removed in favor of the prompt bar being the primary action for creating chats within a particular collection, supported by the new smart chat CTA that we have here when you're within the chats tab. So that's been removed, and then the tabs have been removed in favor of essentially a single context view on this left-hand side. So historically, we had 2 contexts. We had the collections or recent activity or recent chats. This is now a single context, and I'd love your thinking on that as well. So I'm just going to go in here. I'm just going to hello world chat in personal collection, and we'll see that chats are now appearing on the left-hand side here. One of the things that I haven't had the opportunity to get at today, but will do over the course of this week, is I'd like to see both of these highlighted when you're in a particular chat, so that you know you're within this chat, and beyond just the labeling that we have here, that chat is within this current collection. So I'd love your thoughts on the move from tabs and essentially 2 contexts, one being exclusively collections and the others being exclusively chats, to having both in that space. One of the other things I am obviously curious as to your thinking on is, once we suddenly have quite a few collections here, this will push chats down. Yeah, just something to consider. One of the other things that I am curious about is there value to having chats in this space? When I can go into personal collection and I can go into chats and I can see this information here, do we need chats in this space? So I'd love your thinking on that as well. Is there value to this being on the left-hand side at all, or should this just be exclusively collections? One of the things that we'll start to see appearing as well is, at the moment, I only have this personal collection, but we do have the notion of favorites, starred, and shared collections. So there would essentially be, at some point in the future, 3 root nodes represented to this left-hand side as well. So just to factor that in when we're thinking about the value of chats in this space as well. One of the last things I'd like to mention is that, again, by removing the context menu here and having this be a single action, the management of collections is moved from this left-hand side to the collection itself and the main content. So now, whilst these 2 elements here, the cog and the context menu here were duplications of each other, this is now exclusively, the cog is now exclusively for managing the particular collection that I'm viewing at this moment in time. So rename, invite collaborators, manage permissions, and delete collection. Not all of these things will be available in our first launch, but just to give the notion of this is the space where you manage your collections, and this is the space where you'll curate your collections. There's a couple of things that I'm hoping to do over the course of this week as well in this space, really to experiment a bit further. But I'd love your feedback on what you're seeing at this moment in time. Please do let me know what you think. Thank you so much. I'm going to create another video just before I go to my bed here, and it's going to be a multi-file chat, so please look out for that one. Thanks so much.